Don't be fooled by Keir Starmer's boring and moderate Labour campaign. His first priority for Britain, if he gets in, is to upend our constitution and enact blasphemy laws so that you can't criticise his Muslim voters. This is Harry Robinson, and this is AW.
One of the things that is coming up over and over again is Islamophobia. We have to continue with a zero tolerance approach. There's more we can do in government. There's certainly stuff online which I think needs tackling much more robustly than it is at the moment.
What I'm hoping, Keir, is your experience as a prosecutor means you'll be thinking about the strategy we can use to make sure we take action against those who break the law.
So far in this election cycle, Keir Starmer has tried very hard to present himself as a safe and moderate candidate for Labour. He's very publicly been deselecting the more radical leftist Labour candidates and positioning himself through that as a safe and moderate, boring even, candidate for Prime Minister. But behind this surface layer of him being a boring bureaucrat, I think it's important that we remember what a Labour majority government will mean for this country. We can see this vision clearly shown in a recent video the Labour Party uploaded on their YouTube channel on the 16th of June, where Keir Starmer sits down to meet with London Mayor Sadiq Khan. The chat touches on a few topics, primarily relating to Eid and its importance for British Muslims, but there are a few subjects they touch on here which are very, very alarming for anybody paying attention. First of all, one of the first things that Keir Starmer says that his government will do is begin to petition the Saudi government to allow for more visa quotas, to allow for British Muslims to take their trip to Mecca for their annual pilgrimage. So straight away we get the sense that Keir Starmer's government is going to be putting the priorities of foreign populations in the UK over the natives. But even worse, they're going to actively persecute the native population of the UK by enacting further speech restriction laws against Islamophobia, which is the made-up term for anybody who's unhappy and voices their opinion about the demographic and religious shifts that are happening in this country. Whilst praising the business and cultural contributions of British Muslims, which Keir Starmer states has made this country a better Britain, Keir immediately turns his attention to the subject of Islamophobia. He states his concern that Islamophobia is a problem that's been going on for far too long, and states the need for a more robust approach to tackling Islamophobia that happens online. Sadiq Khan, of course, nods his head in approval while this is going on and says that he hopes that Keir's background in prosecution will inform any policies that the government takes. And trust me, Keir makes it certain that the government will take action against any Islamophobia that they see online. Now, what this sounds like to me is that the Keir Starmer government will be trying to enact new speech laws to further restrict what little freedoms the British people have left and still curb ever further our freedom of speech. Essentially, these are de facto blasphemy laws that we're talking about. So this, to me, seems like a very obvious attempt by Labour to pander to the Muslim voters that they've relied on as a constituency for years now. Muslims have previously been reliable Labour voters, but given the escalation of the conflict in Israel and Gaza, it seems that there's been a lot of criticism thrown at Labour's response to it. Coupled with renewed calls for a new Party of Islam, a specifically ethno-religious party in the UK, as well as pressure from George Galloway's Workers' Party of Britain, Labour is facing pressure to start to placate its formerly steady Muslim voter base. Proposing these kinds of targeted speech laws is one way to appeal to sectarian and minority interests, but of course the only way that the party can thrive by doing this is through restricting the native population and enacting laws against them. And this is all especially worrying when you consider polls that suggest that Labour will absolutely dominate this coming election on July the 4th. And despite my own hopes for the utter destruction of the Tory party, I don't savour the idea of a majority Labour government either. In fact, my own preferred solution would be 0 seats for both Tories and Labour. If you have the choice in your own constituency, I would urge you to vote for any party outside of the two-party system. So no matter how Keir Starmer may present himself as the boring and safe candidate, don't let this fool you. If you vote for a Labour government, you'll be voting for a party that will drastically alter our constitution and enact further draconian speech laws than we already have. Keir Starmer is far, far from a safe and moderate candidate. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and retweet. It really helps us to get the information out there that the people need to know. Thank you again for watching. Take care.